So how can we re-remember our own traumas and histories? Be honest about the things that have caused us pain and why they caused us pain, and try to orient around the ways that we reproduce that with other people, especially talking to other East Asian Americans. The way in which having trauma and having nothing, and then having access to something, makes you want to become the person that holds that something. The only thing worse than being under capitalism is being excluded from it, right? Like, we are told that it is better to be a part of the project and working towards whiteness than it is to not be in the project itself.
This idea of like these opportunities that were created or that came up or that our ancestors fought so hard for were also strategically placed there, right? And so I think it's just a really good way to think about like kind of the horrible magic that we place on these stories as well.
How to describe this violence without invalidating the very material struggles that our parents went through and our ancestors went through. And also to think about the fact that waves of exclusion and waves of inclusion actually change people's political identity and access to economic resources.
I'm just like sitting with that deeply disturbing feeling of the ways that like stories of survival are being rooted in that kind of anti-blackness, and the way but that is also a process of internalized xenophobia.
I've always felt and like known on a very visceral level that like to call yourself like Asian American is to have like and live that identity is to have actively participated in anti-blackness. And I've just like never really been in a space where that has been like acknowledged to its fullest.
How do we deal with the fact that there is multiply class people in an Asian American identity? How do we deal with the fact that there's multiple settler identities and indigenous identities within Asian American? And how do we see around that and see the nuances and specificities and the things that are both inherited and the things that are disrupted in the process of migration in our crashing waves?